I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true.
But before all that, a word from our sponsor.
Kids, they're bundles of energy, but they need the right snacks to keep them going. That's why I give my kids
Segue to X.
the food.
Remember, corporations, users. Now for a funny intro.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna...
Hope that's not you. With Bitcoin practically at 12K, it's probably going to be 12K by the time you watch this video. I wanted to discuss what I see as a never-ending war with Bitcoin. In just this year alone, we've seen a China ban, brand recognition and hash power threat, and incompetent hard forks. There is going to be a lot more in future as well. Exactly what, I don't know, but I have an idea what I think is absolutely going to be a contentious issue in the not too distant, kind of distant future. So every 4 years, there is what is known as the halvening, where the block reward for miners is cut in half. Around the year 2024, but definitely by 2028, it's theorized that miners will be incentivized primarily by transaction fees and no longer from the block rewards. And at this point, we have a shift in paradigm. Around this time, we're going to have the argument to introduce inflation to Bitcoin. And as crazy as that sounds, here is the arguments that people like Yihan, possibly Roger, are going to put forth as reasons for it. Satoshi was not an economist, and economists tell you that inflation is necessary, probably at around 1%, to encourage spending. And 2, the support burden of the network should be shared by wealthy Bitcoin holders as well as those that actually use the platform. I don't feel that this outcome's likely, but I do feel that the argument is guaranteed. I feel like changing the rules later is kind of theft from people adopting now who are adopting under the principle there will only ever be 21 million coins. Switch it up with some Bosnian landscapes. Bosnia. Visit today. If you're already there, great. Well done. The Wall Street Journal has gone from writing about Bitcoin, the bubble, to Bitcoin, the absolute big, huge threat. There is another danger, perhaps even more serious from the point of view of the central banks and regulators. Yeah, I'd agree. Bitcoin might not crash. I know we're drawing parallels to the .com bubble, but that's potentially not something that you can compare to cryptocurrency, right? Websites, currency. You know, the speculative fervor in the cryptocurrency is merely the precursor to it being widely used as an alternative to the dollar. It will threaten the central bank's monopoly on money. Well written. Took you a while to get there. This 10K business really has an effect on a lot of people's minds. Really legitimizes Bitcoin as a whole. It's just a USD valuation. Anyway, I get it, but I also don't. This is crazy. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with Roger. I really don't. I don't know why he would do something like this. He tweeted. He hasn't deleted it. Andreas, talking about Andreas Antonopolous, one of the most respected people in Bitcoin now that Roger's kind of tarnished his reputation. Andreas still being the kind of clean persona that Roger kind of used to be many years ago before. Anyway, Andreas is one of the most eloquent speakers on the topic of Bitcoin. He's more than just eloquent. Like, I could praise him for days. Incredibly smart guy. Yeah, anyway, but... What do you mean, but? If he had invested even $300 back in Bitcoin in 2012, he'd be a millionaire today. And that's relevant. How? You probably should have ended that tweet right before the but. Like, what the is the point of that comment? His usual, I'm a millionaire, ergo, I'm smart. Respect me. I wasn't going to do this. I saw this before, but I gave him a pass. But let's highlight this issue.
I have enough money. I was a self-made multimillionaire. It's Bitcoin Cash.
Roger, it's Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash. It's Bitcoin Cash. Bcash.
Not Bcash. It's Bitcoin Cash.
It's what I call it. I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just so easy.
This interview is over. I don't need to be insulted. I was a self-made millionaire before I even got involved in Bitcoin. I don't need to be insulted by some person on the internet. What's your gross annual revenue? Less than $1 million, huh? It's less than $1 million. So that means you don't know how to run a successful business. Your little porno site, Stupotica, and you're here insulting what I'm trying to do.
Anyway, you get the point. I feel like potentially the pressure of having a good reputation go from high to incredibly low incredibly quickly has, I don't know, I can't explain it. As much as I feel like Roger's lying to people with regards to his motives behind stuff, trying to pour shame Andreas is going way too far. Okay, now I like personally dislike Roger, aside from also feeling like he's a liar. Like, anyway, I've never had a more compelling reason to start calling this Bcash, just because he doesn't want people to abbreviate it. But as tempting as it is, I won't, but oh, tempting. And to anyone that didn't catch it, you can see my opinion about Bitcoin Cash. I go into it. I'm not trying to hate on the coin, but there are a few people behind it, which anyway, there's a lot of talk about Blockstream being the guys behind Bitcoin, about having fingers in the pockets around the Lightning Network and whatnot. So, but I just got to the realization that you can't please everyone. There's always going to be someone that is going to point the finger and say this is bad because of X, Y, and Z reason. You literally can't have a Bitcoin that everyone is going to be happy with. So you try and make do with what you've got, kind of. Or you use something else. It's not like you're pressed for choices. Who would win in a fight? The future of digital currency, smart contracts, and decentralized exchange, or some cute crypto boys. Crypto boys. That was incredibly difficult to say. A lot of congestion on the network because of people trading cats. I knew this would happen. There's some threats to Ethereum. There is hackers. There is poorly written smart contracts. There's government policies, and there's crypto kittens congesting the network. In case you wanted to, in case you're feeling frivolous with your Monero gains, you can now buy Mariah Carey's albums and G-Eazy. I presume he's a rapper. You can buy their records using Monero, and they give you a discount too. Now, this isn't a plug for Mariah's music, as great as it is. Oh, sorry, I got something in my eye. No, I think that this is a good example of how to actually do payments. If you offer a crypto option, even though there's infrastructure and startup costs involved, usually if you want to incentivize someone to use crypto rather than USD, you kind of do need to offer them a discount, especially when there's like a lack of customer support, buyer protection. It just makes sense to give them a discount, especially if the value of the coin they give you goes up. It's a win-win, unless you don't replace your coins, and then that album could cost you a lot of money.
There's nothing I want.